Today is September 21, 2024. This is Vince Marino Plumbing, LLC, Pittsburgh. We're going to be removing this Kenmore Sears steam boiler, which I believe is a Dunkirk or Utica. And we're going to be installing a Utica peg 112. And updating the steam boiler. It's a one-pipe steam system. They split the house into two units. This is for the second floor. You can see the capped off supply nozzles. There's another one here. And one over here. I believe there was 4 radiators additionally to this system for the first floor, 4 or 5. There's one down in there, it looks like. And yeah, there's one that goes upstairs here. So we're going to update this. This was a request from the insurance company. Check the appliances and make sure they're okay. So, now interestingly over here, you can see that people that work on steam, they're not quite knowledgeable. They put a radiator vent, steam vent up there for a main vent, so that has to be redone. We're going to change that and correct it. Now, as you can see here, whoever installed this for Sears, I'm pretty sure this was a Sears and Roebuck installation. They had no knowledge of steam. They used copper. You can't do that because the copper doesn't handle the expansion and contraction of the high temperature, latent heat. And secondly, this Hartford loop is wrong. The Hartford loop has to be with the equalizer. They put it at the bottom of the supply nozzle. This had to be bullheaded and the equalizer 1.5 inches down to the bottom. So we're gonna take this T out, put a piece of 1.5 inches into that steel pipe and connect this 1.5 inches. So in the meantime, I'll have some more additional footage for the system. Okay, upon discovery here, this is the hydro level 400, but as you can see, there's no probe. So I'm assuming they had the McDonald Miller unit on here. At some point in time, an HVAC, technician came here and mounted the low water cutoff. There's no taps over there. Mounted the low water cutoff to the side of the boiler, and assuming, I guess, it was going to sense Wi-Fi that there was not enough water in there, would have cut off the burner. So the only thing that was protecting this boiler is that pressure control, if that worked. And I'll get to that next as soon as I take it apart. But can you imagine? This thing would have blown up. He had a company here from Pittsburgh that's supposed to be plumbing HVAC tech, licensed plumber, and he didn't tell him that the low water cutoff was not attached with an element or probe into the boiler. It's amazing. Also, before I take this off, I wanted to touch base on this. They have the feeder below the water level. This gets put up above the border water level as high as you can to avoid the steam making contact with it. So that's not an appropriate connection there for the feeder. And then I noticed this. They put a Don Gossett boiler feed for hot water heating system, thinking they have to put a reducer here. This is wrong. This feeder works with city street pressure as long as it's safe within 50 to 60 pounds, or there's a regulator that'll control it on the main line, but this is for a hot water heating system. All right, we got this down to the block, you can see. Now the low water probe was in the front. It's been a while since I've seen one of these. This is an old bore. It's got to be from the early 90s or 80s. So that's the block. So far I haven't seen any holes in it, but I'll have some more additional footage. So we got this all straightened out, and probably going to face this out. The Dunkirk's going to come out. I don't know. I may use that side with a T, or this side. I don't know. Or I may put it out this way and come out on this side and shoot right in and just go in with the flow. So we'll see when it gets here. But that's the old Sears and Roebuck Dunkirk boiler. Okay, today is September 30th. This is Vince Marino Plumbing LLC. I'm back at that same boiler. I'm done. We replaced that vent. So we got a Hoffman 75. That's where I could put it. That's the highest I can get. Everything's working. We got plenty of steam. Now, this is the PEG Utica 112. I'm going to stick with this boiler. It's a nice boiler. This is the 4 sections. We use 1 nozzle, 4 to 3 sections. After the 4 sections, you got to use the second nozzle. I got my feeder, the original feeder here. They come with a new low water cutoff. I use the Unistrut to hold this from vibration, and I'm sticking with this even though it's made by Dunkirk. They give you the pigtail with the gauge and the pressure tool. It's a nice setup, and I believe these are brass. No, they are not brass. They look like brass, but nevertheless they give you a good glass gauge. So as close as I could get to the slant fin, we got this Utica. We're going to stick with this. I don't like the Dunkirks. They have the draft box in the front. I don't like that. I like it in the back. So what we did here was we redid this flue pipe. Or I did it. Not we. I say I did it, work of 2 people. I had somebody here help me bring this little boiler in. With the flue pipe, standard flue pipe, it's in. This is just my crimpy supported that, and we made that more center into the chimney. And I tested the boiler, combustion and draft, and the furnace. So when this comes on with the pre-purge, it doesn't affect this boiler draft. The chimney's big enough. So in this case, since this is fan assisted, you would put this above this, or you could use a Y, but I didn't use the Y. It's the same thing. So the chimney's biggest is 5 inch, that's 3, fan assisted, 80%. And I believe the chimney's 9 by 13 or whatever. And it's a good draft, but I'm going to come back and test this when it's colder outside to make sure the draft doesn't become excessive. I put 1, 2, 3. There's 3 houses. This is one house. I put the house to the left of it and to the left of it. 3 steam boilers, and 1 down the street's 4 on this block, and 1 hot water boiler. So this is the 3rd steam system replacement. in a row on this street in Pittsburgh, Swissville area. Now, they give you a nice low water cutoff. They give you this nice little 2x4 box. This is all pre-wired. Everything's marked: thermostat, the pressure control, calm and neutral, and your vent damper. It's a really nice boiler. It's similar color to the slant fin, but I wish they would make this with the nozzle on top. I don't know why they put it on the side. I guess to save on money. But the first video you see of this, I'm going to post them together. I'm going to connect them together. This was not here, the equalizer. That's where the equalizer goes, okay? So I kept the original header, which from that water line up to here is about 32 inches. So we got a nice dry riser here. We got dry steam. And this is pitched somewhat both ways, and the water will drain. Originally the Sears Roebuck bore, which was Dunkirk, had the copper mess here. They thought they had a Hartford loop, but they didn't. And then they thought they had this as the equalizer, which was a drip. It was a mess, but we ran this system at 70 degrees today, and 62, 67. So we could only run this so far. 67. All the radiators got hot upstairs. We made this slightly bigger for this radiator here. This system was originally for the first and second floor, so I resized the EDR to include this for the third floor, this second floor unit. The first floor is forced there. And I tested the furnace combustion too. It's fine. Now, anybody paying attention here, I found this out from another plumber. These atmospheric water heaters, currently the current administration is trying, well, they did propose in 2026, by 2029, they want to do away with these atmospheric water heaters and convert them to either condensing for commercial or residential. They would have to have the model with the, they would want the fan assisted water heaters or the model with the vent damper, which would have a spark. So that's proposal. I don't know if that's going to happen, but in the meantime, this is the loop for the second floor. Everything's got nice and hot. You can see the age of this fitting. This is in Edgewood, Omar. This is actually Wilkinsburg, close to Edgewood, Swissville. This is the original steam fitting. That's ancient. That's an antique. These are all cast. This main vent worked. Everything's hot, toasty upstairs. We got everything going. And this should be the conclusion of the PEG 112 Utica. In the meantime, this is Vince Marino Plumbing LLC in Pittsburgh. If you're in Pittsburgh, surrounding areas, Square Hill, the areas that have steam, heat, hot water heat, wet heat, and you have banging and clanking. This system ran for about 40 minutes, quiet as a, you can't even tell. Give me a call. Vince Marino Plumbing LLC.com is my website. So in the meantime, I'll touch base on the next boiler installation or replacement. Arrivederci.